Hi, I'm Sherry with Sherry Sells with our Sherry's Sharing Sunday. And today I'm doing it with Laurie and Dave Billieu with eBLISS Reseller Solutions. How long have you guys been selling on eBay?
Since 2012 or 2013, I think that's when Dave started. He started completely on his own, pretty much on a whim.
Just stumbled upon it. A good friend of mine is a full-time reseller, and he would go to many pawn shops and buy higher end equipment. And I saw how he was using eBay as a great platform to flip for profit. And I had no intention of competing with him or doing that. But we did partner up and we went to a few auctions. And then I stumbled upon Goodwill outlet bins for cheap inventory. And I just was addicted. I loved finding treasure and value and flipping it on eBay, and haven't stopped since. So we are both full-time resellers right now. That's what we do.
That's awesome. I think eBay is very addictive. And who's your employee there that gets to sit on your lap?
She is our lapdog, Luna. There we go.
She has no concept of the computer or the screen, so
Put a dog treat up there.
I know, right?
And so refuses to look at the screen, but here she is, and she's not growling, so now I'll set her
That's
free.
good.
Yes.
Okay.
Same here.
Yeah, that's careful.
So what do you guys take on different tasks?
Yes, Dave he's the buyer. He is in charge of getting all our inventory. He's great at it. And so he's in the field a lot, sourcing himself, and I take care of all the back end stuff that he couldn't care less about.
Yes. And would get me in trouble.
Right.
I just love the sourcing, and I would neglect the administrative part.
Right. And I love the administrative part. Like organizing anything is what I like to do. So whether it's numbers or people or whatever. So I'm very, very much at home doing this stuff. But when we first started, I had to learn the whole business. He taught me how to source. He taught me how to ship and list. We were doing it all. So I have done all those tasks in the past, but just don't do them right now.
Oh, you guys are such a good pair.
It is a big undertaking to want to go full time. You really have to be organized and have a vision, and almost back into your numbers. Find out where you need to be with your bottom line and see if it's possible to source that many items to generate the sales necessary.
Exactly. Yeah, I tell people I start at the house payment and work my way back. What do I have to do this?
Yep.
But I love it because you're both making both of your full-time income doing it, and you have employees, right?
Yes, right now we have 5 employees. Some of them are full-time, some of them are part-time, and most of them do a little bit of every bit of our business. So we cross-train them to do listing and shipping, some processing, we sell mostly used electronics. So to sell those types of items, it requires a lot of more than most have to do, testing, cleaning, getting the item ready to list. So that's what we call processing. And so we have people doing that. So everybody does a little bit of everything for the most part, because we feel that it makes them a better shipper if they know how to list. It makes them a better lister if they know how to ship, and vice versa. So we try to cross-train everybody.
That's great. And do you refurbish like laptops and things like that?
We steer away from certain products. Laptops, there's so much to go wrong. We're mainly personal electronics, consumer electronics, cameras, lenses, and occasionally we'll get into some clothes, but it's to the point where we sell whatever resells. And as a reseller, many resellers look at their business in 3 components. The first component is sourcing, which everybody loves. That's fun. We all like treasure hunting, value hunting, whatever you want to call it. And then the second area is processing and listing, which not many people like. And then there's the back end, which is storage and shipping, which a lot of people don't want to be bothered with because it takes up so much time. So yeah, we rely a lot upon what our sourcers out in the field, because I buy from many different people out in the field. So eventually they realize what we like, and they look for that for us.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a motto that we say it's profits, not projects. So when you asked about do we refurbish things, we try not to go down that route. And it's a challenge sometimes because we sell such a variety of items that we really aren't experts in one particular thing. We know enough about a lot of things so that we can expand our niche, as you call it. So I know a lot of sellers, yeah, all they do is laptops, but they know laptops.
Yeah.
We don't. So therefore, we're not going to really go down that route. But yeah, so that's basically how we handle our items.
That's smart. What advice do you have for people in deciding what they're going to sell or not sell?
Yeah, I hear that question a lot, and there's two different answers. People say start with a niche and work backwards, and some people say just start selling anything and then develop your niche over time. I would say for most resellers who sell one of a kind, thrifted type of garage sale, yard sale type of items or flea market items, start with anything and then narrow it down what you like, what you could get the most of, and take that approach. Definitely.
And what would you say to someone who's thinking about going full-time? Like, what's the best advice you could give them to make that work?
Well, I think like you mentioned before, you have to start with the end in mind. Yeah. Because you can't know where you want to go unless you know where you want to be, right? And you also have to know where you're starting from. So well, first of all, they have to be realistic that it doesn't happen overnight. I think a lot of people think they can get into reselling and it's just gonna happen, right? We cultivated this business over 8 years. It took, he started with one listing. Everybody starts with one listing, right? Everybody starts in the same spot, but everybody doesn't end up in the same spot. So if they wanted to take it from here to here, you got to say, well, how do I get from here to here, right? For us, it's all a matter of numbers, right? Knowing your business numbers in terms of the elements that are the building blocks of your business. I'm not really talking about accounting so much. I'm talking about how much inventory do you have overall to sell? How much have you amassed, right? To put out there. Because Dave always said it's like hunting and fishing. You hunt for your items when you source, and then you fish, you throw it out there on eBay or wherever, and that's fishing. So it really all comes down to that in terms of how much you can sell, how much you can source, how many you have to sell, and what your profit margin is going to be so that you can meet your goals. Because we all know you can sell $1 million worth of stuff on eBay, but if you only keep 50,000 of it, I mean, is that really your goal, right? So you have to think of things in terms of your personal profit. And to do that, you really have to look at your business like a business. It can't be a hobby. It can't just be that the results can't just be whatever, right? It has to be measured, tracked, and then by doing that, then you can make choices and decisions that will further you towards your goal. And that's what we did.
That's awesome. And that answers the question of what you should sell. Is it furthering you toward that goal? Is it getting you to making 50,000 by selling $1 million? Or I have to show you, in case you're seeing parts of this black fluff, that this is Trixie.
Oh,
and she looks like an extension of my hair.
Uh-huh.
Before she
very cute
up anymore, I wanted to just introduce her.
Wow.
Well, that's great advice. And recently you guys are branching out in another way, right?
Yes, we recently launched a fulfillment business specifically for thrifters like us who would like to outsource their storage and shipping operations. We have found that so many people get they get stumbled on their space, or they spend so much time or effort or frustration shipping. So we have started this business called eBLISS Reseller Solutions, where we will store and ship your items for you. Very similar to Amazon FBA, but way better. And it's geared for people who sell one-off used items. So they don't have like hundreds of the same thing, and they can be used. So we figured, you know what, we have gone through this process. we have the knowledge, we have the capabilities, we have the employees, everything that we have already here. Why not offer that to others and let them either get more freedom in their lives because they're not doing that, or expand their businesses, grow because they don't have those limitations of space or shipping.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's something I never thought was possible. I didn't think you could have fulfillment for one of a kind, unique things.
Up
Right.
until this point, we really didn't. It just didn't really exist in any feasible way.
Yeah, we've been working on this for the last 2.5 years. It was around 4 years ago when I was just side hustle where I made it full time as my income. But in order to do that, I needed to hire someone. I needed to have somebody list for me. I plateaued prior to bringing somebody on. I plateaued at around 700 or 800 listings. And I realized that I needed to get to around 1,400 listings to get the income just for me. So it was a challenge, and I needed the space. So I had to get a small 600 square foot warehouse, not a storage unit, because you do need internet access. You do need heat. You can't be working out of a storage.
Electricity, lights.
Right. So all in, it was a big financial commitment, and it was from that point that we were really able to really pop our business. And then Laurie came on full time, and we brought on more people. But it was a big investment,
Right.
and that was the reason why we explored into creating eBLISS, is to help those that are plateauing and are struggling with whether they want to grow, if they can grow. And we allow that as an option.
That's awesome. And you're an animal. And I say that as the highest compliment, doing 700 to 800 listings by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah, right now we have
over 4,000 individual listings.
Yes. So it gives a sense to all the viewers that it is possible.
Yeah.
As long as your sourcing is out there, as long as the items are out there, go get them. And don't let delegating or bringing on help or outsourcing a component of your business get in the way. Don't look at it as a cost, look at it as an investment to get to the next level. And it worked for us. We went from 700 to 4,000 listings, and
but it took years. It didn't happen
took
overnight.
a couple of years.
Right.
So
yeah. And I like the way that you describe it. I love how you guys are so aware of the numbers, because for me, I have part-time help, 2 part-time teenagers. They're teenagers full-time, but work for me part-time. But anyway, and we're at about 1,200 listings, and that is about what I need to make one full-time income. But I am looking to grow. So every time you reach that plateau, it's how to get to the next phase.
definitely.
Exactly.
And that's why we started eBLISS, because storage challenges, shipping challenges, and also organizational challenges are the 3 problems that a lot of resellers face. So by allowing us to take over those 3 hurdles allows people to get to 1,200, to get to 2,000 listings without hitting plateaus. And in turn comes the cash flow, which is very predictable when you get to that level.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. And when I was in California, we had a 1,400 square foot house, which cost a lot of money because we were in California, but we had 2 bedrooms of shelving with stuff. And then the shipping supplies were in the garage, although we still had both of our cars in the garage because my husband wasn't going to have it any other way. But now that I'm in Colorado, I have a basement, which is this novelty that I am just amazed at. But I do meet people who maybe live in an apartment or a small house and don't have a spare bedroom or 2. So this is a great way for them to be able to grow.
Yeah. And not only that, but it's a good problem to have when you have to ship items every day, because it means you're selling items.
Yeah.
But that could become a burden, as we found out with many of our eBLISS clients. Many were spending anywhere from 5 to 7 hours a week just picking, packing, and shipping, meaning bringing it to the post office. And they're thrilled because they have that freedom now where they don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. and say, oh man, I better make sure I send these out first thing I wake up. I don't want, because I have a busy day or something like that. But it also just allows them to use the freed up time that they would normally use for picking, packing, and shipping to grow their business more, which is typically on the front end, which is the sourcing. They're able to source more. So it's a benefit. It's exciting to see them growing and see them happy doing it.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys inspire me to up my game seriously, and you have been since I met you. And tell everybody about you guys run the Denver meetup.
Yes, we took over as coordinators a little over a year and a half ago. The Denver meetup is a very well-established group. It's been in existence for quite a while, but we've only been doing it for about a year and a half. Right now, we're meeting on Zoom. Hopefully we'll be able to start meeting in person again at some point in the near future. We have our next one is actually coming up on Tuesday, and anybody who would like to join, it's not, especially with Zoom, it's not limited to people in our area. And we have a 3-panel seller panel and we're all going to talk about growth. So how to grow your business. So
and that's exactly what you guys have been talking about.
Yes, exactly. And so something we know a lot about, we feel like, because we did go from here to there, but we did it very deliberately and very strategically. But we also did it the old-fashioned way when we had to put out a lot of money, or not money, and we had to put out a lot of investment and commitment to our warehouse, to our employees, to everything that's involved. So that is another reason why eBLISS is also really helpful, because you don't have to put out that huge investment up front. You can do it as you grow, which is super helpful.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm glad you guys are in this group, because if anyone has any questions, they could comment or ask you.
Yes,
And
for sure.
I loved the last Denver meetup where you had Harry Temkin. That was great.
Yes.
I can't get to this one because I have visitors and we're going to go skiing. And that's
fun.
That would keep me from that.
Right? Don't worry.
Fine.
Hopefully this time I'll remember to record it, and we can post it afterwards.
I've seen your Winter Park Instagram photos, and I always like them.
Oh, thank you. I'll have to put more on Instagram so you can see the people I ski with are half my height, right? My nieces and nephews.
Yeah, they probably are a lot faster too, zipping down the mountain.
Everybody's faster than me.
I know that feeling.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. We're happy to do it anytime.
Yeah, and we, as Laurie mentioned, we deal with so many resellers, and they all have the same concerns. So we'd be a great, willing resource to any of your group members.
Yeah, that would be great. We'll make it a regular thing.
No problem.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Trixie's gonna say goodbye.
Okay. Luna's over there sleeping, so.
How sweet is she? Okay. Thanks, you guys.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.